Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I think some people are still coming. So, respected past presidents, president, esteemed guests, alumni, and future leaders, it is really an honor to welcome you all to this special gathering of AMA Diploma Alumni Students Meet. The topic is Kal, Aaj aur Kal, a celebration of our journey through education, leadership, and progress. This evening is a reflection of AMA's enduring legacy and its commitment to lifelong learning. As the Honorary Secretary of AMA and also the grandson of the founder, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, I take great pride in continuing his mission of fostering education that empowers individuals and transforms industries. AMA has always been a hub of knowledge, innovation, and leadership, shaping professionals who make a difference in the world. Tonight, we've had insights and legacy lessons from our past presidents, Mr. Rajiv B. Vastupal and Mr. Yatindra Sharma, who have played a pivotal role in strengthening AMA's foundation. Their leadership and dedication have paved the way for knowledge, sharing, and growth. We're also privileged to have our current president, Dr. Savan Godiawala, whose vision in driving AMA into a new era of excellence and opportunity. And under his leadership, AMA continues to expand its impact, adapting to the evolving needs of education and professional development. Looking ahead, the future of AMA rests in the hands of the next generation. AMA remains committed to being the bridge that connects knowledge with real-world success. This evening is a testament to our shared commitment to learning, and I encourage all of you to engage, collaborate, take inspiration from these people who are here, and together let us honor our past, celebrate our present, and build a future by knowledge and innovation. A few things before we start and make it open. India needs to innovate to solve India-specific problems. If you look at the Viksit Bharat initiative by our Honorable Prime Minister, India needs to become a USD or US dollars 30 trillion economy with a per capita income of, let's say, $20,000. Currently, it is about $2,500. So the nation will need to achieve this with an 8-fold increase, in the next 23 years. So how is this possible? And according to me, this is only possible if we put a lot of effort into innovation and entrepreneurship. I'm opening this up, and then the Rajiv Bhai and Yatindra Bhai and Savan Bhai will speak more. Personally, if you ask me, when I go to do a lot of business internationally, and we are always seen as this back office. All the opportunities we get are back office. Nothing wrong with it, great. But at least some of us in this audience, I see so many young people, some of us need to be in that front office. We can't always be doing me too, or I'm in the pharmaceuticals, so it's called generic or generic products, or this back office activity. Everyone doesn't need to do that. Everyone doesn't need to take the inspiration only from the West. We can look inwards, and India can do fantastic things. In my field, I gave an example a few years ago about typhoid. Typhoid, everybody knows this disease, typhoid. If you look at a diagnostic test for typhoid, it is called a Vidal test. Whoever, God forbid, got typhoid must have known this Vidal test. The Vidal test was discovered by a man named Mr. George Vidal, who was a French during the colonial times in 1896. So from 1896 to now, we are still using that same test. Why? Because typhoid basically affects only us, mostly this region. If typhoid was there in New York or Berlin or London, we would have a fantastic test, and all of our companies here would be copying that test, and there would be a good market. This is just an example of how we don't always need to look at the West to solve our problems. I'm so happy to see that in India, we can have a solution, like during Uttarayan, you see this, the two-wheelers, you see this, like the shape of this guard. It's called a guard. 80 rupees you charge. And it must have saved millions of lives. Millions of necks would have been saved by this simple innovation by someone, and that's not even patented. Just today, I was in this, while this conference is going on, I was earlier in an IP conference in this at AMA, and they were talking about how when you patent things, your valuation goes up, which is great, and which is what we need to do. But there are innovations that even without patent are impacting and saving people's lives. In the slums, I've seen that there are these bottles, these plastic bottles of Coke and Pepsi and everything that people normally throw away. But these plastic bottles can be filled with water and bleach. And using the refraction of the sun, it can become a 40-watt bulb and almost light the entire slum facility in this. And this is happening in the south. Again, a brilliant invention by someone in India who has done this, and now it's used everywhere else. So the point is that we can take, these are simple innovations, then of course there are very successful looking inward innovations like companies like Zepto, which have huge valuations, something that's come up in India for quick grocery deliveries. Companies like ShareChat, which are using local languages to use it. Again, a very India-specific company. A company done by a friend of mine called Map My Genome. It's a Hyderabad-based company where you can use DNA techniques to map your entire, how your DNA-powered wellness program for, because now that the human genome is completely sequenced. So there's a company like that. Again, fantastic valuations for India. So the focus is innovate in India. A diploma like this in AMA and all of you here, if all of us do it, or if some of us do it rather, we can be the front office in the years coming forward. 20% of the world is us. 20% of the world is Indians. We need to use that as a strength. So on a lighter note, just this month we celebrated Valentine's Day, and in my company, the HR, there was a cake cutting ceremony, and people were asked to share personal things, just as a thing to get to know each other. And so this colleague of mine brought in something he had written for his wife, and he said, with the hearts drawn and everything, and he said, "Your smile is like 1 in a million." And I told him that in India, boss, that's not so special, because there would be 1,000 other people with that smile. So we are even copying the signs of, we are even copying these comments from the West. So anyway, so I leave this, now we're going to do that website thing, but before that, should we do that now? Okay, so we have a new website that's coming up, and there's a video that someone will share, please. So this platform, So the AMA Diploma Alumni page, what you just saw, is designed to keep all of our past students connected, enabling them to stay updated on AMA's latest developments, events, exclusive opportunities. It serves as a dedicated space where alumni can reconnect, share insights, and explore avenues for professional growth. You can be, it's a simple, I think you can visit the page and click on the instructions are there. So with that, I hope you have a great evening, and I leave it to Mr. Rajiv Bhai to share his insights into the alumni. Thank you very much. Shall we give?
Thank you. That's a lovely. Best rose I have ever seen.
Great. Thank you.
1 in a million.
In a million.
Good evening, boys and girls. I was expecting that there will be younger students here, but looks like a lower middle-age people here, most experienced. So I don't want to talk about certain things which is really, talk to learners or somebody fresh graduates and other things. But I think what they are doing is also very good. What is education? Education, why most of you did a diploma in Ahmedabad Management Association in a various skill sector. Could be banking, could be finance, could be marketing, could be communication skill, and many other things. We already graduated from our college or whatever degree we have. So all basic things have come in the graduation. If it is on a commerce side, it is a BCom. If it is on a science side, whatever it is. But there are plenty of things which we have not learned in the college, because we were targeting only little marks only, that we can go ahead and do masters or do something else. In that we forget other skills. Now you have to have all kind of skills. You have to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Everything is moving so fast. There is a change every day with the new technology, new changing relations, geopolitical relations, and every day is a new day for all of you. And maybe one is serving somewhere or one is doing some business. The market changes. Who was knowing that mobile will be a key thing before 10 years, that without mobile you cannot go even to the loo. I mean, it is that necessity to us basically. But it is a truth. Now just diploma certificate in AMA is not everything. It's a first step, building your career, increase your knowledge, and shaping up your mind. I, being a president of All India Management Association, and there is a special program in various cities we do it, shaping young minds. Means that there's a lot of good speakers who came, like yesterday I was with them, with Sanjeev Bigchandani. So somebody was mentioning that there is no startup here, there is nothing new, IT improvement. So he mentioned that I started Naukri.com, I started Jeevansathi.com, I financed this Zomato. So many things have started from even there also. Of course, Bangalore is the capital of IT, but still there is a lot of things happening at a lot of places in India basically. So I will go for a very simple way. How do we learn something new? According to me, I'll share my experience that I have learned from the travel. I have traveled most of the countries in the world. I have traveled most of the cities in India. I always talk to my colleague if I am on flight, or earlier I used to go into train. I used to talk to them, what are they doing? How do they manage their business? What are the key points to do? Or he may be a professional or whatever it is. But meet people, talk to them, give a self-introduction at airport, at station, wherever you are, and learn something. Then you become really employable at a better place. Or you can start a startup or think about the business with somebody who can find you can find financing, or somebody who has a knack of doing that particular work. And we can always succeed into any. Zomato was not hopeful. When I met him, is one of this thing. He says, no, for the first 5 years I'm going to make a lose and burning money, and there are financiers who are ready to burn money, and they really burnt money. Now their graph is coming into profit, which is infinite. Like recently, the Porter service has started in Ahmedabad. So one place to another place, you just do not have time to go and deliver that thing, or you do not have a person. I mean, it's very costly. So you give it to this thing. That fellow will collect whatever things you want to send to him. He will deliver it. So a few other things. I was in Delhi at IMA conference and Best Achievers Award, where you should have a passion of what you are doing it. I met Kiran Rao. She is a lady who directed a film called Lapata Ladies. It went to even Oscar, and she said that the idea came from the story listening broadly, but visiting the place, it was a village, and she was so much impressed. It was in a Bihar. It was shooted in Bihar, where there were no facility in that village. But it was a focus and passion for her that I want to make the best movie out of it. So she selected the cast and all other things, and financiers and other people, and she could make best movies, which was considered by film industry. And she was also awarded for Best Director Award yesterday. Then I had to interact. I told you Sanjeev Bikchandani, Naukri.com, Jeevansathi.com, and the financiers in Zomato. The third person was Dilip Sanghvi. He is owner of Sun Pharmaceutical, who's a #1 company in India, and whose exports are also very good. His intention that people are in more tension than me, that what will happen if Trump put tariffs on a medicine. Ultimately, he calculated that if the medicine is going to be costly in USA, there will be more insurance bill, and USA itself will lose their economy. The insurance company will die. So see the impact of it. So we are cool. We don't have to worry about medicine, generic medicine, which is America is the biggest importer of Indian generic medicine. 61% generic medicine is going from India, basically. So you learn from these people about the world. So somebody is pursuing generic in pharmaceutical, one should go ahead and do it and do a approval this thing, because approvals and other things are very, very time taking and cumbersome also. I myself am talking about, I have started my business 40 years ago, and I had changed multiple businesses due to some reason. Mohal, my friend, has 100 plus agencies of foreign companies. But then, which was not viable, he just cleaned the balance sheet, paid everybody everything, and he made a new company in pharmaceutical focused, and he's doing wonderful today. He started with a clean slate. He inherited so many things, but he has started a wonderful company now. Secondly, whatever it is, whatever you are doing at the moment, you should focus on that. Go into the depth of the subject, not just for doing sake of doing, because you should not have a time as a constraint. And I would request and appreciate these days, youngsters, even my daughters are also 30s and mid 30, 40s. They don't really read newspaper. They don't really need read a magazine. I read each and every political magazine in a paper, not e-newspaper. But you can read e-newspaper at least. So at least one newspaper if you read, you will get the idea. And one of, not Ahmedabad local newspaper, not Ahmedabad Mirror, but you should look at the country and international. So you will find out in Times of India e-newspaper, which is of a Bombay, mixed news of Bombay, Delhi, and you should read those newspapers. You should be gain the knowledge from the reading, because what we want is the OTT and Netflix and other things for entertaining ourselves. But I don't say you just see the news on the TV channel, but newspapers are having some news content. most of the TV channel, I was with Navika Kumar yesterday, who did, yesterday she did an interview in Patna of that new party who is formed called, he was Kishore, Prashant Kishore. So yesterday night, yeah, so she should have recorded today, and my news hours are done today, because she was there at 8 o'clock. I said, how can you go on news now or TV now? She says it is done, today's evening is done. So it was very interesting to interact with those people, you know, and I could meet Reddy's sister. Dr. Pratap Reddy's have 4 daughters. The 4 daughters are handling Apollo Hospital. Now there are more than 200 hospitals they have, and more than 5,000 pharmacy they have, and they have most costliest oncology department, and that machines value was not recovered for 10 years, but they were the first mover, and then it was a first mover advantage, and they are now fully booked for the cancer treatment. Earlier they were fully booked for the heart treatment, because they were the only people who were doing bypass surgery. They were the first in many, many things, because Dr. Pratap Reddy was very ambitious, and all 4 sisters has distributed the work. And the way they are going ahead is tremendously high. And what they count, that we are focusing on the patient. The calculation, accounts, everything is done by one of the sisters. But we want to reach 1 lakh patient and attract travel tourism to our various hospitals wherever we are, in Calcutta or Chennai or even Ahmedabad they have. So we want to have more patients. So our target is patient, not money. Target is patient. So what is important is they are all focused. All 4 sisters are focused. They have argument. They sort it out before night. So this is something which I would like to share my experience. I am here only not to advise you anything, but sharing my experience. At the age of 60 even, I started, I went for a 1-week course in ISB for a leadership retreat. Even I am going for a leadership retreat, it's a kind of a 1-day program. Still I continue learning. And you always learn something. ISB was a residential course. I did it for 7 days with all discomforts, and but it's more or less comfortable if you are focused that you want to learn something more. I want to polish my marketing. I did marketing, and I have a marketing diploma is Rajiv Vasupal marketing diploma is in AMA. I was always fond of that. In that, most important thing is communicating whatever way you can do it. First is the verbal communication. Word of mouth is the best communication system. Number 2, you should now, in an electronic age, you know, you should communicate with social media in awareness with authenticity of the truth. Don't write anything wrong in conveying the news to anything. Whatever is achieved is achieved. But you cannot write that we have all certificates and you know everything basically. But it is best then. There is one advertisement I have seen on a radio recently, that you buy a property in Gift City residential, for the next 3 years no new project is being launched. Now one should not advertise. I mean, you know, one doesn't know that there are ongoing projects already which is there. So you should not do a negative communication at all with anybody basically. Next month I am going to Sweden from IMA and St. Gallen University in Switzerland with interaction with Gen Z, youngsters. What are their ideas in life, how to move ahead with their career. So whatever way we have learned in life, you know, they select the people only who have first generation business, who started from scratch to multi-million business. I'm considered to be one of them. So I really like to learn from them that what is in their mind. So I will change myself. Of course, I will advise them also, but it is like addressing 500 students or more than that basically. So it is going to be easy. Life is not easy for everybody. Here females are there, females will have a more responsibility than man. Man has a more responsibility to make entire family happy and fulfill their demand and give them everything. So that's principally that in our society at least 40-50% it remains that man has to bring money home to see a smile on a daughter's face or boy's face basically, and vice versa. And the best smile, he said, the same way, kind of thing. So I think we will do a more interaction Q&A, which will be I think more learning for all of us than I go on saying something. But this is a few experience I shared with you of my own. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Very happy to be here with a very large family of AMA. It's a matter of joy, nostalgia, at the same time looking forward. Today I am going to talk to you in three areas. Very briefly, I will try to cover the journey of AMA, because all of you have been AMA enthusiasts, also loyalists, I should say. But I think it would be great to know that how we have traveled this long journey till date. That is one. Second thing, in terms of AMA evolution, along with the trends of global knowledge, global industry, Indian industry, and how we have tried to keep the pace with that. The third thing which I would like to share with you, that is on an individual level, that what kind of takeaways I have got for myself and what can be takeaway for all of us. Now when we talk about AMA we always used to say, always moving ahead. I think the horoscope of AMA has been so much so auspicious, right from the residence of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, where it got the birth. Then it moved to Atira. I think this has been something which is very, very unique about AMA, that the leadership keeps changing, over a period of time. Every 2 years, the new leader comes in, there is an election. But you have never seen AMA in bad light or any controversy for all these years, where the leader, whomsoever has come, added a new leaf into the success story of AMA. AMA is like a kaleidoscope. The moment you turn, you see a different picture. And these pictures have been brought down by all leaders right from Dr. Vikram Sarabhai till date. So that is the unique thing about AMA. People over here come to give and get more of satisfaction, knowledge, capabilities, and this is a unique combination which this institution has been built over a period of time. If we talk about AMA, we had a very humble beginning right from 1956, but even today in history of AMA is one of the founding members of AMA. AMA took birth maybe 4 or 5 years later than AMA. So that is the contribution of AMA in the national management story. From Atira, small premises, we moved to Bank of India building. There was a small office and we had one of the veteran who contributed all his life to AMA, Mr. Nair. He used to sit with 2 people in that office. The kind of programs what we were doing, you will be rather surprised to know that even in the beginning of AMA, if I talk of beginning of 60s, because I had a privilege to do a program in year 2000 which was the onset of new millennium, and we created a program that was Nostalgia, where we covered the journey of AMA till 2000, and we tried to see various facets, participants, stakeholders, our patrons. We had got a great gathering over there, and it was a 90-minute function. Point is that while we went through the archives and tried to cull out the topics which were taken by AMA in various program, workshops, amazing. Somewhere in 1964, AMA used to conduct computer science and computing, 1964-65, where computer revolution started in US somewhere in 1975. We were talking about computer programs and why it was being done. You will be rather interested to know. See, AMA and IMA came later, but the best part was that we had the same leader, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. And IMA, when they started, they had faculty from Harvard, which was there for 2 years at IMA, in the initial phase of IMA. And IIM Ahmedabad, this faculty used to take sessions during the day at the institute, and in the evening they used to switch over to AMA. And that is the reason why we had such cutting edge programs which we could design, which we could bring in. Similarly, we used to do annual management conventions, and the best part was that one of the management convention was attended by Prime Minister of India, that was Morarji Bhai Desai. After Vikram Bhai died, in his memory, we created Dr. Vikram Sarabhai Memorial Lecture, annual event, and you will be rather happy to know that till date, AMA has hosted 7 Nobel laureates, starting from Jonas Salk. It's a rare achievement. If I talk of this kind of thought leadership, what we wanted to create in our city, it was a great effort. Similarly, if we talk about various, dignitaries who have come to Vikram Sarabhai Memorial Lecture, I mean, it's a huge, eminent, report which we can pull out, and still it is continuing. Likewise, somewhere in 1982, our past president, Mr. P.V.R. Iyer, he had created a one-day convention only on one topic. And what was that topic on that management convention day? Corruption in India, 1982. Talk about, Indira Gandhi in full force, and we are taking this kind of, topic which is covered by media and propagated by media. So point is that after Bank of India building, we started into a small premise, and that was a huge consolidation and movement forward. That was at Punjabi Hall, where we found a small place. But the best part was that along with Mr. Chinubhai Shah, Mr. Bhandari, myself, Mr. Modi, everybody, we could convince Uttam Bhai Mehta of Torrent to give his contribution for Torrent AMA Management Center. That was the first center which was started at Punjabi Hall. And similarly, it had a nice small lecture hall, some of the small rooms for group discussion, and a small office. But within 2 years, we had another basement area where we created a library, and Naveen Bhai Shah, he contributed the second activity center. And that formed the base of AMA in multifarious activities. And some of the faculties who have been loyalists of AMA, which turned a donor later on, I am talking about Handa family, and in particular Sunil Bhai Handa, he used to come and teach. And there was a small board in, Nayar's office, where every day, whenever he used to come, he used to write that after this lecture, my contribution, he used to take lecture fees, and he used to write the total over there, that this what money is going to AMA for my lectures. Very interesting. Now, after 1990, there was a need felt for AMA to create our own, premise. And this was a big toll, because the kind of enrollments which were coming in, we were running a very tight ship at Punjabi Hall. But then the dreams were unbound. Right from 1992, this debate started, and for the first time, our lady president, the only one lady president, Karunaben Shah, she pushed this topic very aggressively. Along with, all of us together, we could convince Sushil Bhai Handa to contribute in those days 45 lakhs for activity center at AMA. So what I talked about Sunil Handa's association with AMA culminated into a big contribution from core parentals. And this was a push for us to dream big. And at that point of time, prior to that, I would like to bring out one very interesting thing that was during the presidency of Mr. I.A. Modi, where he really created a huge membership base of patrons. And in those days, what Modi Sahib did, we created team along with Modi Sahib, maybe 5 or 6 people. Whenever we had time, we used to go to residence of one industry leader and request him to contribute 25,000 and become a patron of AMA. Now this movement, before we thought about our building, you will be rather happy to know that his perseverance, along with group, created more than 100 patron members at AMA, and that formed a very large base other than corporate membership of AMA. 94-95, we started thinking about that how we should go about this complex, but we were not in a mood to compromise. So what we did, we wanted to create the best of the complex, which could create the future dreams of Ahmedabad for people of Ahmedabad, professionals of Ahmedabad, students of Ahmedabad. And this particular project, what it was conceived by Bimal Bhai, very interestingly, Mukesh Bhai, myself, Pachal, I mean, we were the people to execute on the ground. Interestingly, when we did the groundbreaking, except contribution from Sushil Bhai and some commitment from Uttam Bhai Mehta, there was no other commitment on ground. And this project was conceived at that point of time with the investment value of 1.5 crore, only the civil structure. Now this was something very, very big, risk what we had taken together. We thought that even at that point of time, this auditorium was also there on the drawing. Raju Bhai, you may not be knowing, but this was already on drawing. But then to cut down our budget from 1.5 to 1.2, the auditorium was taken for the second phase. But with this commitment, when we did the groundbreaking, interestingly, the kind of commitments from city of Ahmedabad, our patrons, our well-wishers, it came at the time of groundbreaking. This pushed this project fast forward. And the kind of commitment which was taken from Bimal Bhai, that 31st August is your birthday, and on 31st August, this complex has to be inaugurated. And there was a big support from Atira to get this premise. We cannot forget about it. We are thankful to them to give this opportunity to us. And on 31st August, there was a grand inauguration, but still the funds were required for all these facilities, furniture, equipment, everything. So what we did, when the building was being constructed, in the constructed, semi-constructed room, we used to invite people and share the dream, and we had created a nice leaflet and whatnot. But the fact is on the ground that the day it was inaugurated, there were enough contributions, donations for AMA. And from there onwards, AMA has never looked back. Today, if we talk about facility of AMA in terms of size and space, we are even bigger than IMA. Raju bhai, am I right?
Correct.
We are bigger than IMA complex, much bigger. Now, from there on, we have already gone in for various things, various activities, modernization. This auditorium was, supported by Rajiv bhai, that his family, they contributed a huge amount of 50 lakhs. And then this thing was also implemented. And interestingly, this auditorium was inaugurated by Narendra bhai. And from there on, in terms of journey of AMA, in terms of thought leadership, in terms of creating various programs, activities, it has been unbound. When we talk about the same challenge, because AMA has been always known for their various programs where people come to AMA, large numbers. Likewise, one of our lead program on Indian wisdom, Mamta AMA Center for Indian Wisdom, all these classrooms, auditorium, everything is packed. Now, with this kind of activities and program, we were known for getting people at our place. But then the COVID challenge came in. And that was a big challenge to AMA because AMA could not hold any program. And the call of the day was to go digital. And in the shortest possible time, AMA went digital. We created hybrid programs, we created online programs, and since then, today, if we talk about all our council meetings, they are always online as well as offline. There are programs which are being done, online, offline. Even this program right now is being aired on YouTube. Apart from you people, there are people on YouTube also. I do not know how many views are there at the moment, but there are people on YouTube. So point is that from physical to digital. So this is the kind of journey what is AMA has taken. One of the hallmark of AMA has been winning Best Management Association in metro cities, beating cities like Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore, and becoming Best Management Association 20 times. For 5 years, a very, very informed decision was taken by our leadership. That was in my time, year 2000, that we will not participate in, LMA competition. For 5 years, we were out of it. Because what happened, that at the time of inauguration of this program, and then in year 2000, Major General Khurana had come, and he gave a very special trophy to AMA, with a request not to participate. That trophy is already there in our, boardroom. So that is also speaking a lot about thought leadership of AMA, the kind of knowledge dissemination, what has happened. So all that about AMA journey. Now talking about trends. See, when we talk about trends, AMA always believed in continuing education. Education for industry people, who could not go for professional management, qualifications, or they had no exposure to, be in industry, maybe with some kind of training programs and all that. So the initial phase was more with the industry. But somewhere in 1989, when we had our Punjabi Hall facility, then we launched the first management diploma program. And since then, with the demand of industry, we have moved into all kinds of programs, whether it is finance management, banking management, whether we talk about manufacturing, quality, international trade. All these programs have been introduced one by one. The second major focus of AMA has been to make these programs not only usable and, I should say, effective for participants to be in India. Even when they go abroad, we have worked with various universities where they can get credits for these programs, what they have done. Another thing which was somewhere in 1999, when Achal Bhai had been to LSE, London School of Economics, and there was a proposal from LSE to start the satellite center at AMA of LSE. And there was a very big discussion, and the discussion was decided at the moment that we will not go for this association because we are in continuing education. We do not want to become a management graduate school. And that was politely refused. But the second step after year 2000, during time of Mahendra Bhai, Rajiv Bhai, we went in for US universities where our diploma programs with 2 universities in US have been acknowledged, accredited, and this kind of accreditation also has been taken. Now, way forward, what we look in terms of management topics and all that, we are going to bring in more and more programs which are in line with evolution of technology, evolution of knowledge, and that is a continuing process which will take place over a period of time. But when we talk about industry trends, the most important thing which happened somewhere year 2000, where India had a big leap with Y2K in IT industry. And since then, India has got into knowledge economy. 21st century is knowledge economy. And I think our country is doing great job in terms of knowledge economy. Today, if we talk about lowest cost production of various industries, whether it is pharma, steel, automobile, I think India has done a great job. So the focus will be to associate such kind of experiences and knowledge with various programs, whatever they are. And I think horizon is very vast. Our dreams are, unlimited. Our vigor is, full in place. So I don't see any reason why we should not satisfy the needs of our stakeholders, future stakeholders or current stakeholders. I think we'll be able to do a reasonably decent job. Whether it is best, better, that let the user to decide. But on our part, we are quite confident that we'll do a decent job. Now, on an individual level, I think if I talk about my own journey, I started my association with AMA in 1982. I was management postgraduate from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute, Mumbai. I was working in a MNC, American oil company, came to Ahmedabad. I was a professional, but by associating with the AMA, we learned a lot of things, and one of the major things which is there, which is not noticed by many people, that is time discipline. If we talk about programs of AMA, they are always started on dot, on time, and finished on time. That was the first learning for me. I mean, if I relate my own experience, because Mumbai had a very different work culture. Mumbai had a professional work culture, and even today I would say that work culture wise, Mumbai is the top city in our country, without any doubt. When we talk about Ahmedabad, it was a very laid back city at that point of time when I came to Ahmedabad. But then that gave me a very good opportunity, a window of knowledge, development, and all that pushed me into entrepreneurship within 5-6 years. That is the best thing which happened to me personally. And since then, if I look at my own journey, I think I would like to relate a couple of things which were done during my presidency. I think that would be interesting for you to know. That AMA was the first ISO 9001 management institution in the country. And this was done during my presidency. I had to convince Mr. Nair. Whenever we talk to Mr. Nair, he will say, no, it is not possible. And when he say not possible means he will not move. But then to convince him and get going, and if you get him going, then everything is done. So we used to share such a great relationship that he used to tell me that you are my idea man. And I used to tell him that you are my, you are my soldier to do it on the front. And that was first thing which happened. In year 2000, some of the very interesting programs were brought out. Likewise, we started a complete management week on the start of millennium in the very first week of January. we had Dr. C.K. Prahlad to kick off this management week. And since then, Dr. C.K. Prahlad lectures became thought leadership activity and program which was looked upon by citizens of Ahmedabad in a very big way. While his first lecture was organized, everybody was thinking that where we will do it. Then we decided that we will do it in the biggest possible facility what is available in Ahmedabad. We went to IIM Ahmedabad and booked their Louis Kahn Plaza. So everybody was worried that will we really get so many people. But the next day morning it became a headline in Times of India, 5,000 people. And this kind of activities, Dr. C.K. Prahlad, for your information, he was chairman of programs committee for 3 years. He was member of programs committee of AMA. And he always told me, because I went and met him in New York, and I requested him that, look, I know that you are part of AMA, so you have to give it back to AMA. And he used to come every year, and he talked about so many things which have become now kind of, dream for our own nation. Likewise, he talked about how India can be a developed country by India at 75. That was one of the lectures, which was so inspirational. Likewise, he talked about, market opportunity at the bottom of pyramid. This was done by, in the year 2003. All his lectures, even today you can go and, look at our archives, all those videos are available. Absolutely inspirational. Similarly, another program, I think by year 2005, AMA became the Disneyland of management. It was not only for professionals, it was for housewives, it was for children, it was for everybody. And how we did it? Likewise, in year 2000, we started, children's summer workshop, where their, kind of polishing of their values, culture, knowledge, everything. And during that summer vacation, the kind of participation we had in the first round, 3,000 children participated. They used to come for, programs over here. They were being given refreshments. All these things were organized in such a way that it became kind of highlight, which is even continuing today. We started, training school children and teachers, which was again, even today, I think we are still supporting past presidents of AMA, patrons of AMA are supporting this drive. So point is that if you dream big, the fun of doing that thing itself keeps you live, kicking and young. And with that, I think with AMA, I have always remained young. Life is all about change, and change is something which is inevitable. So I will sum up with a very small couplet. नजर बदलो, नजारे बदल जाएंगे, सोच बदलो, सितारे बदल जाएंगे, कश्तियां बदलो, किनारे बदल जाएंगे. Thank you very much.
Friends, thank you. Yatindra bhai, yes, we are continuously moving our sails, moving the wind also, maybe kinare badal rahe hai. But I have a big problem with this past presidents as a current president. Every time I have seen, and I have been part of the AMA as a student or as a part of so many programs for since over 30 years, maybe 35 years. And every time the past presidents have taken AMA to the next level, and that is my problem. And when you come as a president in, now where do we find the next level? Because it has always come to the next level, next level, next level. So we have such a fabulous legacy. We have such fabulous past presidents, and that is what Yatindra bhai mentioned, that you stay young, you keep learning, and then you try to contribute as much as possible. Dear Yatindra bhai, Rajiv bhai, Mohal bhai, Thompson, Jainil, our executive president, members, faculties, ladies and gentlemen, young boys and girls, right? That's what Rajiv bhai you mentioned. Yes, when you're addressing alumni, generally it is boys and girls, and I'm sure I'm older than most of you, and there are two young past presidents over here with me. Having said that, I'm not going to talk about AMA. Yatindra bhai, thank you for giving the flavor of AMA. Many of you might not be knowing the history and then how it has grown. I only can tell you one thing, that I was part of that Punjabi hall, which is near Navrangpura, where I used to attend lot of sessions. We used to sit down on the floor without any mat, and then some videos were also run, Miracle Man if I remember now, and then many more, and some management sessions used to have. And this was also, and that time also there was jam-packed room, even sitting on the floor, that I was part of it, so many. And then here we are in the place where this is certainly an enviable situation, that this is the best of the place, best of the complex that is built. And after the first phase, certainly thanks to Rajiv bhai, because he took up the second phase, and where we are right now having this auditorium. So far as the AMA is, the diploma is concerned, diploma is also risen to a different scale. This year we have what, 250 diploma students, maybe 175. Last year we had 250, 175 students. We were struggling for 5, 6, 7 also in each batch, but now we are doing it. So it has become a brand by itself also as much. And thus this alumni page, and certainly compliments and congratulations to all of you on launching of this alumni page today, where we want to certainly take it to the next level. Fortunately, because there is no history here, for me life is easy. And try to see to it something happens, and that network happens, that contribution happens, that knowledge sharing happens on that alumni page, and that alumni page becomes a resource for all of us, all the alumni, for finding themselves in the growth trajectory that it can be used for. So that's one big purpose. Two, certainly as AMA, we want to make this a platform. Let AMA be your platform for any kind of networking or that you want to get as resources or contribute as resource also to AMA. And we would be very happy to have the alumni. AMA, for doing this alumni meet, it was never a thought process that whether it should be at JB auditorium, or JB auditorium is an expensive place, by the way, if somebody else outsider wants to. But yes, this is you are part and parcel of AMA. So I would not only restrict that you have taken knowledge here, but very happy that if you come and share your knowledge also, write case studies. And we have a lot of case studies, especially the past presidents here. They themselves are our case studies also, who have done so much, and they've contributed so much to it. And very happy when I see diverse background, and sometimes also you feel little worried when there is Nishantini Chotli sitting over here, that he'll make you a Chotli also. He is a radio man who is a humor on the radio. But so that is the diversity that we are bringing in our alumni also. Certainly, Yatindra bhai said we have a tradition to start on time, and he also added that, and a tradition to close on time. So I know I'm mindful of the time that I have got, but very important 3, 4, 5 things that I would like to communicate, that this is time, and Rajiv bhai mentioned, the time to unlearn, learn, skill, reskill. So this is precisely what the AM is about. We want to ideally try to see to it that what is new, what is happening, what is future, where do we need to divert ourselves or reskill ourselves as everybody at every age. Rajiv bhai going to ISB himself now, I feel that's something which is what all of us say. The learning is a lifetime thing. It cannot be like I learned when I was a student. You can never be not a student in the whole of the life. So this is what we would be happy to have your suggestion, one, and your involvement in continuing the education that we can give at AMA. Two is, Mohal bhai mentioned, innovation. Everything is about innovation. And it is now that it's not going to, the same world is not going to continue the way it was working. The new world is going to be different. As a chartered accountant, as an auditor also, I would say that the audit world is going to be different. Now it's not going to be the old way of doing audit. Some AI is going to do the audit, and and the audit will not need an auditor also at all. You just need to do how you manage AIs. or how you manage the outcome of what is given out. Every single field will have some or the other. That how do we bring that reskilling that we are trying to continuously internally brainstorm, internally trying to ensure that we have the right faculty. 2, 3, we have already taken the faculty over the last few years to the next level. In terms of our faculties are very highly rated. Faculties are very highly educated. The faculties are, and thanks Priyanka Ben coming from Mumbai today for the, and many more, our faculties over here, Vedant Bhai and Sir. So we also want to ensure that your suggestions and this involvement of the right faculty will give the right mix to be delivering something that we want to do. And we're taking the classrooms also to the next level. And Yatindra Bhai is in part of the program of digitization that the standing committee has approved, wherein we are investing so much in this already modern premises, where we're going to take this, make it digital, smart classrooms, eco-friendly and sustainable, and then doing the right things that we are trying to, we need to be doing, and ensuring that we drive to the next level. So as I said, lot of your contribution, and no piece of advice, there is enough advice that we have given, but for certainly make sure that there is the AMA needs people like you, alumni, who themselves are the brand, and you as becoming a brand when you do something worthwhile for the society, something worthwhile for giving back in terms of knowledge or howsoever that you can give back. AMA would be very proud of having that brand, which will create certainly AMA also as a brand, which would be, so we would like to give this AMA support as much as you can, especially in terms of skilling, in terms of knowledge management, in terms of contribution as network of alumni. That is what we're trying to do over here. And certainly we will take question answers right now. And very happy, as I said, for all of you to be here, and we would ideally want to have billion smiles, not 1 in billion smiles, Mohal Bhai, over here. So all of our population should have smiles, doing the right thing, and then contributing to the society. So we can open up to the house. We have still some 22 minutes, 15 minutes plus 5 minutes for the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So we are open for question and answers. We have a very, august gathering here, and I'm sure all of us have, within ourselves touched AMA at various phases of our lives, our careers. So if any of you have any questions to the esteemed panel of our past presidents, president and honorary secretary, they'll be glad to answer. So anything you want to know about?
Just to introduce, Thompson is the senior most man in HDFC retail or what in Gujarat. So any questions to him also would be good.
Yeah, so
yes, certainly. Any startup ideas, then maybe he's the man. Maybe we may also ask some questions, Thompson.
Yeah. I'll be glad to answer, because I know, just to touch upon a little, since I'm mindful of time. I'm a beneficiary of AMA myself in the 90s, when as a young school and college going kid, I wanted to learn about life beyond textbooks, and that's where AMA came in. I remember the Punjabi Hall premises, because I did my first personality development class in the classroom there with Mr. B.N. Dastoor, and from there on I attended various seminars of AMA. Which those days we didn't have, the CNBCs of the world or anything in the 90s. We just had Doordarshan, right? So in those days, if you wanted knowledge, if you wanted to hear industry stalwarts, I think amongst all the cities, as Yatindra Bhai mentioned, Ahmedabad was very fortunate because of the foresight of AMA. We had seminars with the who's of the industry since those days, and students could go and attend those lectures and seminars, a full day seminar at, I think, Thakurbai Desai Hall and various halls where we used to organize. So I've been beneficiary of AMA and the knowledge that I've gained from AMA over the years. So ever grateful to AMA for that. So I agree with Sawan bhai that AMA has touched all of us in our own way. So I saw you raise your hand there. Yeah, can we pass on the mic there? Oh, we can hear you. Yeah.
Career both in my personal and professional life as far as studies or any other thing is concerned, but as soon as I put my steps in the classrooms of AMA, like my whole life turned 360 degree around. So thank you so much for filling my life with a zest and vigor and with a new enthusiasm and hope. So talking about hope, I am just a little curious to know when is, it might sound a little greedy as a diploma student, but when is AMA starting international collaborations for its students?
But we already have this. We have San Bernardino University of California also already as an affiliate for almost 15 years, maybe more. But you talk about affiliation or you talk about something different?
Universities such as Harvard Economic School, Harvard Business School. So I was talking about...
Sorry, yes, you can elaborate your question.
Yes, I was just as other, institutions such as IIM have a collaboration with...
so for exchange, is that so?
Yes.
So where you can go to the University of California?
Yes, sir.
I think it is still in making, so it may not be mentioned to you in detail, but I think we are talking about kind of a business program between India and Japan with Suzuki Corporation, and I'm pretty sure, because me and Mukesh bhai have been working very hard, and that is the kind of program which we would like to prepare, which is going to be known as India Business Program, where people from Japan can come and participate and know Indian business. At the same time, it will cover the Japanese business also. So that is in progress right now, work in progress, but I think very soon it is going to happen.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for letting us know about that.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions? Any suggestions? Any thoughts? Yeah.
Very good evening. This is Suhas here. And Mohul sir, I am from ISRO family, also from Sarawai family. 2010 and 2017, I came for many courses. Liked it very well. Just wanted one thing. When is AMA going to start SAP course in as in future?
That's a good suggestion, I would say, because they not have been thought of it, but SAP or any ERP, what is your
SAP, ERP, CRM, and
it can
MM.
be Oracle, it can be Microsoft, it can be SAP.
Yes.
But maybe a very good idea. There's a good suggestion to take because this could help a lot of professionals. And this doesn't affect just the finance, it is all modules. So good suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, behind there, yeah. Can we pass on the mics there? Yeah.
Very good evening. Sir, I was participated into the various diploma programs in year of 2013, 14, 15, the time frame. So as of now, from having experience from corporate to then own startup, something like that. So my curiosity is to know a little bit some knowledge for those candidates who have already aspirations for the, like AMA's aspirations for the management in affordable rates. So some programs related to stock market, industry, or some 6 months or 3 months of courses should be applied in future.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we already have 2 centers under which we do financial education also, especially as centers, and lot of speakers and very senior speakers come. And also there is investor education center, another center also. There are 2 centers under which, so you must track that center, that each of the centers would be doing at least 3-4 activities every year. That means 8-9 activities, which are to give you education on financial markets, capital markets, including the stock markets, investor education, everything. And we have senior people from NSEs as well as senior people from the private equity world also. We did a large private equity conference also. So
The first conference was inaugurated with
Zia Modi, the AZB partner, she was the chairperson of the first large conference that we did, and the Actis guys, JM Trivedi, the global private equity, they were all here for. So we do this, but maybe there should be some communication. Ideally on this page, if we can communicate, there was a good suggestion before we entered here that you can give your interest areas also, and that interest areas could convert into groups also, and specific communication, Janil, what we are thinking, we can push to that groups also, that this program is happening under this center and this could be of interest. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, there are a couple of hands there behind.
Yes,
Mike
I have
Travels, you can start.
Yeah, I did last 2 courses last year. One was in Diploma Finance and another was Travel and Tourism, which was first time launched by AMA. And I am glad that I am having time to spend with Priyanka ma'am here. And one more thing, I have a small suggestion that we can have a diploma course in travel and tourism industry as well. Because at that time we had a strength of 40-45 students in that.
So Unmesh bhai.
Yes, from 6 months diploma course.
If there were
Snowflakes
44
University.
guys for certificate, all the reasons the diploma should. We need to make a
Snowflakes.
curriculum to
Yes, thank you.
that. Yes. I think Yatindra bhai has some guests, so he needs to leave. But and Mohal bhai, we'll free you in 5 minutes maybe. Of course, you also. Everybody has guest, but Yatindra bhai has made a statement. We have to stick to that. That we have to end all time also. But before somebody asks a question, I have one more thing to add. That while all of you have done this diploma or some program, you're part of the alumni here, there is an important now new trend which I was part of it, that you also want to do doctoral when you along with your profession. I did my doctorate at the age of 50. So I'm an old man now, and that's many years back. So we here are opening up it's already open for any researcher, any doctoral student. The library at AM is available 24/7 in terms of the open timings, and no fees charge. So please try to use, please promote, please communicate to as many, but we want to promote research as much as possible, and that's the best thing to do for every professional and every businessman also, if you can, at any age. Yeah, Jainil just completed. Yes.
મારું નામ પરેશ દવે છે ને, હું પ્રેઝન્ટ બેચના ડિજિટલ માર્કેટિંગ શીખીએ છે. હું અત્યારે ETV ભારત સાથે સંકળાયેલો છું. મારી 2 જનરેશન પર બહુ મોટી અસર કરી છે AMA. મારો દીકરો થોડોક અલગ થઈ ગયો હતો. પછી હું અહીંયા મેં 10 વર્ષ મારા પ્રોગ્રામ કર્યા અહીંયા, અને ભારતના બેસ્ટ બ્રેન્સને હું અહીંયા લાવ્યો હતો. વોટ નેચરલ રિસોર્સ મેનેજમેન્ટના એક એવોર્ડ આપતા હતા. મારી અપેક્ષા 2 છે. એક CSRનું ફંડ બહુ અનયુટિલાઇઝ છે, અને આપણા ત્યાં એ પ્રકારની જરૂર છે કે CSR ફંડનું સારું મેનેજમેન્ટ થાય અને સારા બેસ્ટ પ્રેક્ટિસ સામે આવે. એટલે મને લાગે છે એકાદો કોર્સ, કેમ કે અમને એટલે AMA અમારા માટે 10-15 વર્ષથી એક પોતાનું પણ લાગ્યું છે, અને હવે તો યંગ મીડિયામાંથી પણ આવ્યા છે, ઇઝ ડુઈંગ વન્ડરફુલ. તો એક CSR માટે, અને બીજું સૌથી મોટી ચેલેન્જ અમારા જેવા, એટલે હું 57 વર્ષનો છું, તો મને લાગે છે કે AI કેવી રીતના રિપ્લેસ કરશે અમુક પ્રકારના. ધારો કે મીડિયામાં એવું થતું જાય છે, કન્ટેન્ટ એ થાય છે. તો AI અને એક CSR જે મોટી ચેલેન્જ છે, અને એક ત્રીજું કદાચ થઈ શકે કે નહીં, પબ્લિક પોલિસીઝ બાબતે આપણે ત્યાં બહુ ઓછી અવેરનેસ છે. તો પબ્લિક પોલિસીઝ અને કાયદા, જેમ કે બજેટ માટે હું સાહેબ તમારા જ ઘણી બધી વાર મેં બાઇટ લીધી છે અહીંયા, તો પબ્લિક પોલિસીઝને અવેરનેસ માટે સારું થાય તો આપણને સાચું ચિત્ર દેશનું ઇકોનોમીનું મળે. થેન્ક યુ.
થેન્ક યુ. પ્રશાંત ભાઈ, રાઈટ? પરેશભાઈ દવે. So ઉન્મેશભાઈ can also answer it, but આપણી CSR conference દર વર્ષે થાય છે, and that we try to bring in the best of the brains and experts from all over, જે લોકો આપણને CSR ની કોન્ફરન્સમાં જ્ઞાન બી આપે છે ને આપણા questions બી. This year for the first time, last year rather, we did a large CSR, let me use for want of any other word, મેળો. આપણે તો મેળો મેટ્રિમોનિયલ જેવું કરેલું, જેમાં એટલા કોર્પોરેટ્સ અને એટલા જ NGOs, they were all together અને 30 તો મીટિંગો કરી હતી. 35 NGOs and beneficiaries. એટલે we are trying to do this. Rajiv sir and Yatindra sir has also sponsored few. So we are doing this, but even if we can do it multiple times in a year, we should do, at least we should do it once a year. On the other thing that you asked, AI, we have repeated programs of AI which are done in the last, even not only અહીંયા આપણે ત્યાં ઓડવ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલ એસોસિએશન આપણું એક એક્સટેન્શન સેન્ટર છે, ત્યાં પણ આપણે કરીએ છીએ. એટલે વી આર ગોઈંગ ક્લોઝર ટુ ધ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી ઓલ્સો ખાસું. અને ત્રીજો તમારો પ્રશ્ન તો પબ્લિક પોલિસી, એટલે MSME ને લગતી જે પોલિસીઝ હોય છે એમાં આપણે કેટલા વાર આસિસ્ટન્ટ કમિશનર્સ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી કમિશનરને આપણે બોલાવીને પોલિસીઓનું ખાસું જ કમ્યુનિકેશન કર્યું છે. અને પ્રેક્ટિકલી દર 1 થી 1.5 મહિને 2 મહિને એક MSMEનો પ્રોગ્રામ કરીએ છીએ. એટલે ફ્રોમ ધ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ વ્યૂ ઓફ બિઝનેસ એન્ડ પોલિસીઝ વી આર કન્ટિન્યુઅસલી ડુઈંગ ઇટ. બટ ઇફ યુ ફીલ દેટ ધીસ વિઝિબિલિટી ઇઝ લેસ, જે ખરેખર તો તમે મીડિયાના છો એટલે તમને તો વિઝિબિલિટી પહેલી દેખાય, તો પછી આપણે કંઈક કરવું જોઈએ કે આ કમ્યુનિકેશન વધારે ને વધારે થાય. અને સર્ટલી એલમનાઈના પેજ ઉપર જે આપણે કમ્યુનિકેટ કરીએ ને આ પ્રોગ્રામ હોય તો જેટલા લોકોને ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ હોય બધાને તમે લોકો ફોરવર્ડ કરી શકો છો. સોશિયલ મીડિયા ફોલો કરશો ને તો નાવ અવર સોશિયલ મીડિયા ઇઝ વેરી સ્ટ્રોંગ. હવે આપણા સોશિયલ મીડિયામાં પ્રેક્ટિકલી દરેક પ્રોગ્રામ જે હોય છે એનું વી ટ્રાય ટુ પુટ એટલીસ્ટ 2-3 ટાઈમ્સ, એકવાર તો મિનિમમ દેખાશે જ. એટલે તમે એને ફોલો દબાવશો એને LinkedIn હોય કે Instagram હોય કે I don't know Facebook also or not, but we are making sure that the communication is abundant. But thanks for the suggestion.
25th National Productivity Council નો program પણ અહીંયા છે. It is also public policies.
Public policy. Yes, please.
Hello, sir.
We'll take one question and maybe one more. Yeah.
So continue to his suggestion, visibility. I am Nishan Dubey and I was part of 2 years full-time diploma course in 2011 to 13. So that time I was missing one thing, that the placement season was happening in other colleges and they were very much hype was there, that much package the students were getting, and that was missing here in AMA. So my suggestion is like from our batch also all are now capable and got the good place in their career. So how can we get students from AMAs, diplomas or other courses, and can we have some portal on our AMA so we can post our requirements there? So that is one suggestion. Thank you.
So Thompson sir, probably you can answer it better, but we want to make a committee and this is on the cards also.
Yeah.
So we can involve the alumni also, Thompson.
Yeah. So between Jainil bhai and me, we are trying to, because I'm fortunate to be part of the executive committee for the last 2 years, and Jainil bhai is very enthusiastic on the alumni network. So together we are trying to build a more robust interactive alumni network where we will have a alumni network, procedures and policies to the best of the Ivy Leagues. So we will, because even in this room, probably there are some of you who are seeking a career opportunity and there are some who are wanting people to join them as well, right? But don't know each other. So the whole idea of the alumni network is that if you if you are seeking a job, there will be a page for that. If you have job offers in your companies, that will also be posted there from an alumni perspective. So these are the thoughts we already have in mind, and this is just the beginning. We'll build on it and make it stronger by the day.
And we can initiate some action platform. This is a very important and valid and an urgent suggestion if we have to make the alumni little more connected. And એના માટે if we can bring in some agent outside party also to help us give a platform, we should use that. We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Wow.
Nishant bhai, so naam kayo? Nishant bhai, very good, wonderful. Thanks. This is what. So you should become a part of that committee for sure. Right, all the reasons.
So the whole idea is that, alumni often take pride in their institution, and the institution takes pride in the quality of alumni that they have. So I think it's a win-win collaboration which must move on.
Maybe one last question, the lady in the center.
Continuing to Nishan's question, I'm also from his batch. Like we spent 2 full years at AMA and we have learned so much. So ask from us, like we are ready to contribute. So a bigger suggestion that take alumni, make them responsible and ask from them. I can say for my batch that we are ready to contribute.
So without asking if you can contribute, nothing like it.
So for me,
Please go
AMA
ahead.
has been a very
Wherever you
special
feel
place.
that is a strength, we are absolutely welcome. Red carpet for every alumni, right?
Yeah. And not just, I think I also spent a lot of close time with Nair sir, and I did a lot of events like hosting, and he has been giving so many opportunities back when I was a student. So I feel so gratitude that I would love to contribute back.
Next, ek session imnu rakho. We'll do one program. That lady in the stripes wanted to ask. So last question that we can take up. Now we'll take it offline because okay, yeah.
So without taking much time, I'll straightforward come to this question. So I have done my diploma in 2015 and now it's almost been 10 years. And I'm continuously seeing that multiple programs are being designed by the AMA. So is there any kind of a facility or a department or guidance available within the AMA which really guide us and which really helps to choose a relevant course which is directly linked to the career growth?
But the point is, if somebody comes in, can somebody guide us? So some council...
We really come to AMA, and is there anyone with whom we interact and who guide us?
Some kind of a counseling thing, and so well noted. We have been doing it last few years. I know there's under Inductotham we are doing that counseling also. There's one center specially for career counseling, but maybe for guidance, we can take it to the next level. Even by appointment, we can give guidance. If somebody calls, and then we can set up some guidance and some panel for guides also. We'll do that. Yes, thank you, everybody. But over to Thompson, sir. And Rajiv bhai, any last word that you want?
Actually, we are covering much more than other, because I have been lucky to become All India Management Association. And I have seen 49 active members in AIMA. And then after, the kind of what we are doing in quantum, none of the local management associations is doing. So we are number one.
Certainly. And thanks to the leaders, yes.
Yeah.
Please, Thompson,
So
over to you for
now.
1.5 minutes.
Yeah, so to the vote of thanks now, to our past presidents, Mr. Rajiv Vastupal, Mr. Yatindra Sharma, our present president, Dr. Savan Godiawala, to our honorary secretary, Mr. Mohol Sarabhai, for the wonderful insights and the thoughts that they've shared with us, the background of AMA, because sometimes we don't realize the magnitude of the institute that we all belong to, the founding fathers, starting from Vikram Sarabhai to everybody else who's taken it to the next level. I think only adding more feathers to this already full cap, So thanks to them for their words of encouragement and guidance. To our alumni, thank you so much, for taking time out to come back to this campus and relive your old memories, many of you. And your presence has inspired us to do a lot more now for the alumni network and increase the bond that exists between AMA and its alumni. And to the faculty members, each one of you for tirelessly working to give your best to our students through the year, taking their suggestions and sometimes redesigning the courses, etc. It means a lot. Thank you. And to Unmesh bhai and your office for getting everybody together here this evening, because I know it takes a lot of effort to coordinate, to take registrations for that. So once again, thank you, each one of you, mindful of time for being here, means a lot to AMA. And as our president, Dr. Savan Godiawala said, this is only a beginning for a more robust alumni network and gathering to come in the days ahead. So thank you once again for being here. Yeah, so we have a dinner and a networking dinner outside, so you may want to get introduced with each other, so that it's always nice, and that's why the alumni networks take place, right? So make the most out of it. Happy to have all of you for the dinner. Thank you.